If I could give you just one tip to increase your chances of getting hired after an interview, it's this. Send a thank you email. Now, only 1 in 4 people actually do it, but 80% of hiring managers say it helps. Now, most people skip it because they think it looks desperate. But in this video, I'm going to tell you why that mindset is costing you offers. And if you stick around to the end, I'm even going to give you the exact framework used by my one-to-one coaching clients to land high-paying offers, even when they have struggled before. Okay, so I probably get 10 to 20 people messaging me every week on LinkedIn or Instagram saying, hey Lucy, just quickly, do you suggest sending a follow-up after an interview, or should I wait to hear back? Now, some say, I don't want to look too pushy or desperate for the job. Others tell me they are unsure what to do because all of their communication has been with the recruiter and they don't always have the email address for the hiring manager. So look, here's what you need to know first. If your interview was shocking, sending a thank you note isn't some sort of magic pill that will completely change that. The chances are, if you've had an awkward interview or you've walked away thinking, oh my God, I completely forgot to mention this, that, or the other, it's already too late. And that's why upfront preparation is so crucial and why I cover this in detail as part of my CGA coaching program. So I'll pop a link in the description below. But if your interview has gone well, you should 100% be sending a thank you note, especially after the final stage interview, if you want the job. Now in the US, this is already very common practice. Not so much in Europe, but I'm a big believer in following up. So look, I know what it's like. You've just wrapped up the final stage of the interview. Your heart rate is finally back to normal and you're replaying every answer in your head. But now what? You might think, I've done what I can, I'll just wait to hear back, right? Wrong. Not sending a follow-up after your interview is like running a marathon and stopping 10 meters before the finish line. You've done the prep, you've showed up, you gave solid answers, so why wouldn't you take that one extra step that could tip the odds in your favor? It just doesn't make sense when you say it like that, right? So let's talk about why a thank you note matters and how to write one that actually stands out and what you should never do in your follow-up. And if you've been ghosted after an interview, stick around and I'll cover what to do next too. But just before we dive in, tell me, do you always send a thank you note, or are you guilty of skipping this step? Drop a comment below. Okay, so why bother then? Well, some people assume hiring managers don't care about thank you emails, but so many businesses are built purely on relationships where attention to detail and strong communication skills matter. Now, back when I was running a recruitment business focused on placing mid to senior level clinical research professionals across the US, I coached hundreds of candidates through the final stages of interview. And the data was undeniable. The ones who sent thank you emails ended up with 30 to 40% higher placement rates. Now, at first, I thought it was just luck or stronger interview skills, but then I started tracking it and soon started encouraging all of my candidates to send their personalized follow-ups. Now, a lot of the time I'd help them with a template and they'd just fill in the blanks, but the hiring managers I was working with started telling me it was this final little detail that gave the edge. And they'd say things like, we had 2 front runners, but your candidate dropped us a very nice message after we met, and we just got a feeling that they would be a better fit. So yes, relationships matter, communication matters, and attention to detail matters. And a thank you note proves you've got all 3. But now let's go on to what to say and how to write a thank you note that stands out. Now, don't worry here, nobody's expecting you to channel J.K. Rowling or Malcolm Gladwell. Just write like a human who wants the job. And here's how to get it right. First, start with a subject line that gets their attention. Hiring managers get a flood of emails, so make yours easy to spot. And don't use the words, I'm just following up. You're not chasing an overdue invoice. Try something like, great speaking today, thanks. Still thinking about company name? Thanks again. Thanks for a great conversation about job title. Now, step 2, personalize it. This isn't the time for a copy and paste or something straight from ChatGPT. Speak like you. If the email starts with, Thank you for your time today. I appreciate the opportunity. You'll probably just sound like anyone else who grabbed a template off Google. If you want to stand out, you have to tap into something deeper. Your message needs to say, I was present, I listened, I cared enough to remember the details. So mention a project they brought up, the challenge they're trying to solve, the moment you connected over something random but real. And that's how you go from being just another candidate to one where they start thinking, I can picture this person on my team. So yeah, write like someone who gives a damn, assuming of course you do actually want the job. Now reference something specific from your conversation to show you were engaged. And then step 3, make your case, almost like you're on trial. So think of this as your final argument in court. Why should they hire you? Now this is the part 99% of people skip, and it's the part that actually makes the difference. It's not enough to say, I'm excited about the role. What you want is a sentence that says, here's what you said you needed and here's how I deliver that exactly. Now you need to draw a straight line between their pain and your experience. Now for my old candidates, that often looked something like this. After learning more about your upcoming early phase oncology trials, I'm even more confident I can add value to your team. Managing complex phase 1 and 2 studies, especially in oncology, is where I've spent a bulk of my career, and I'd be excited to bring that experience to, and then insert company name. So why did this work? Well, because it connects the dots. The hiring manager has a problem. Maybe it's launching a complex project, hitting tight timelines, or leading a cross-functional team. Your job is to position yourself as the solution to that problem. Think of it like this. They've just spent 45 minutes to an hour telling you what they need. This is your chance to say, I heard you and I've done this before. You're not just saying, I want the job. You're saying, here's how I fit into your bigger picture. Here's how I can help you. Specific, relevant, and confident. And that's how you stay top of mind when they're deciding who gets that offer. Now, step 4, end with the next steps. Now, a polite nudge never hurts. So wrap up with, looking forward to what's next in the process. Please let me know if you need anything else from me. And of course, always sign off professionally. Best regards, and then your name. The close of your thank you email should do 2 things. Keep the momentum going and reassure them that you're someone who follows through. Too many people trail off with a vague thanks again and call it a day. Don't do that. Instead, finish strong. Give a gentle nudge towards what's next. Try something like, looking forward to hearing about the next steps. Please let me know if there's anything else you need from me in the meantime. And if you agreed a specific date for a decision, which you should definitely do by the way, mention it. It shows you are paying attention and you're on top of things. So something like this. I'll look out for your update by Friday as agreed, but feel free to let me know if you need anything further from my side. Then sign it off with something clear and polished. No need to overthink it. A simple best regards will do, but tailor it to suit the discussion you had during the interview. Okay, so simple, respectful, and quietly confident. The kind of candidates hiring managers want to work with. But here's a couple more things to know. Don't wait too long. Send your thank you note within 24 hours. If you wait a week, you might as well not send it at all. Now, don't make it all about you. Avoid language like, this job is a perfect fit for me, or I really need this job. Instead, focus on them, how you can contribute, how their team impressed you, how you're excited to bring value. And don't send a novel, but don't make it too short. One sentence isn't really enough. Keep it engaging and to the point, so 150 to 300 words max. And don't forget to proofread it. This isn't the time for typos. And lastly, what if you don't hear back? Okay, so let's say you smashed the interview, sent the perfect thank you note, and still don't hear back. Well, firstly, don't panic. Hiring can be a slow process, especially in Europe, especially near bank holidays. And if you haven't heard back after a week, a polite follow-up is totally okay. So something like, Hi, hiring manager's name. I'm still very excited about the opportunity to join your team. You mentioned I should hereby and insert the agreed day or date, but do let me know if something has changed. Would love to know if there are any updates on the hiring process. And if you still get no response after another week, I'd send another email to close the file. Wish them the best and move on. There are plenty of other great opportunities out there. Now, if you enjoyed this video or you're thinking, but what if I don't have their email address? You should definitely go take a look at this video where you can learn how to find it in just a few minutes. I'll see you there.